Okay, guys, this is our room. Hey, baby, how are you?
Hey!
You're dark. You're dark. Well, this is actually the porch. This is the only suite in this Hotel Excelsior is this suite. The Diamond, Bessie, I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to read to y'all.
Make some coffee in the morning, open some blinds, and have some coffee and look outside.
Yeah, would you walk?
Going out on the porch.
Yeah, would you walk us outside? Let's look at it at night, and then we'll do it tomorrow too. Isn't this pretty? It's so pretty. Take us out there, John Mary. John Mary.
Come on, see the fountain.
Oh yeah, they have lots of weddings here. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, pretty.
So pretty. It's very New Orleans-like back here in the courtyard. There's where you can have supper. Well, you can have breakfast. And I'm not sure. I think it's just breakfast, but I'm not certain. So y'all don't quote me on that. Yes. You hear the choo-choo? That was perfect. Perfect timing. Toot toot.
See, that's when I was growing up. That's the amount of grass that I was gonna have around the house. The rest of it was gonna be concrete. That was my dream yard, was to have that much grass to mow.
Yeah.
And the rest of it was gonna be concrete.
And you got a lot more grass than that, John Murray.
A bit more grass than that to mow.
Although I'm gonna have to say, you did pour a whole lot of concrete out back.
We did. We did get a pretty concrete backyard.
John Murray did that when I was at work at the vet's office at the veterinarian hospital. Came home and you had a huge amount of concrete poured. Yeah, see, John and I have the only suite, and it's got this outside porch, and it's so
glassed in to where you can't sit outside.
Yes. And so, if you want to come, just make sure you make your reservations early.
Yeah.
Well, that choo-choo train, he's getting after it, isn't he?
He's telling everybody to get out of his way.
If you want to get the suite with this back porch, and then of course you can sit out here with anyone, but we love having this back porch area. The area.
You and I are going to sit out there a little while.
Yeah, oh yeah.
To the fountain.
We are going to sit out there a little while. Yeah. But anyway, this is our little back porch, and you see all these sweet little blinds looking out there. I'll try to do this tomorrow too while it's daytime. And then this is our room. Isn't it pretty? The Diamond Bessie Suite. Would you turn on your little lamp, baby? Oh, we actually have a light, yeah. And yeah, everything's about ghosts here. Ghosts are just history to me.
Yeah.
Aren't these windows beautiful? John and I were admiring them earlier. Saying we wish we could have afforded to put them in our home, huh, baby?
Yep.
But, and they recently redid this bathroom to have a 6-foot shower. It's pretty nice. Here's the flooring. But yeah, this is our bed. And John loves this little cabinet as well, where I've kind of got my makeup thrown and strewn. All right, baby. What did you do? You counted all those squares today.
Yeah, I had to count all the squares in between one. It's just a little bit of a fetish I've got.
I can't remember how many you said.
1,620.
1,680, I think you said, was each square, and then times 3.
Yeah.
You're so silly.
Yeah, I'm a little bit silly.
You love to count.
I can't help it.
Count, 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 count. All right, baby. Let's go see this place. You got our keys, darling?
Got our keys.
And there's only, what did I tell you? There's only like 11 rooms in the whole joint. Aren't they pretty?
Oh, look at the cows pulling the wagon.
Oh, I love it. I love that. The Excelsior Hotel. Look at there. Isn't that too cool?
The streets were dirt.
The streets were dirt and you had cows.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I almost wish I lived then instead of now. But if I lived then instead of now, I wish I lived then, now instead of then, right? Yep, there's another picture of it. Look, I love that wagon. I don't know what's loaded in. It's just some
barrels.
Yeah, boxes and barrels. That is so neat. That church isn't still right there, though, is it?
I don't think that's here anymore.
I don't either. We're gonna have to look out there. We got here and it was turning evening time. Look at that. Look at the busy street. I love it.
I guarantee you it was full of people.
Well, that's back before when the river was
full.
Clogged up from the logs, and they didn't unclog it yet. Oh, you see the ladies crossing the street in their fluffy dresses. I love it. I love it. I just love old pictures. And that is my favorite, the cows. That is sweet. Okay, baby, here we go. We're 104. We're the Diamond Bessie. Sweet. That is the one. Then you got the Blaylock room and the employees only room. And that is the Dolly Bell. I'm not sure if that's a room or some sort of a
staircase.
Oh, is it a staircase? Yay! That is the door I looked in earlier with y'all. That was out. It goes out to the street, but it's closed off right now. That's beautiful. That chair with that tall mirror. So pretty in here. Oh yes, I see the staircase. Yes. Are we going up?
Yeah,
baby?
absolutely.
All right.
We got to go.
I asked her, did she mind if I walked around and filmed? She said, no. It's cold in there.
That's one of those gas lights.
Yes, that's that original gas
Yeah.
light. How beautiful. Oh, I bet we can go out on the balcony. Isn't that light gorgeous? Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty.
Oh, I can hear the ladies cackling here.
Oh, that's so pretty. Is this more rooms? Yeah. And it's full tonight because there was no parking left. So yeah, I'm glad we did call early. Let's go out on the balcony, baby, if we can.
Look how slanted the floor is.
I know. Like try to sit in that chair. Show everybody how slanted the floor is. I don't know if they can tell how slanted you are. But yeah, it's sinking. But it was 1858. So. Can we go outside? Oh yeah, and this is wallpaper discovered during restoration of the passage hall in the Excelsior Hotel following the Texas freeze disaster of February 2021. They just discovered this.
Wow.
2021. How cool is that? I love that.
That's 212, 213.
You know, that was that hard freeze that you and I were having to work every day and carry water to the cows because the pond was frozen over.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we go out there? Yeah, we
I
can.
believe we can.
I hear that fountain. Fountain. Oh, it's nice out here, too. If you don't stay in the suite, you could just sit out here.
Oh, yeah.
You see, I'm going to show y'all. We're back down, right down there. Well, how pretty. Yes, it did. Yeah, because that's what it said. It said they just now found that wallpaper following the Texas freeze disaster of February 2020. It was in the hall of the Excelsior Hotel. Isn't that amazing? That's been there since 1800s, possibly.
Yeah.
And they just found it. Wow, that's cool.
Them little old air conditioners like that right there.
That thing's cold.
Them things there chunk the chill.
Chunk the chill.
That's what we used to say at chicken plant. It's chunking the chill.
Y'all are so silly. Chunking the chill.
Chunking the chill.
All right, baby. Let's go look at the dining area. And then we'll go retire to our room.
Retire to our room, yes.
Yes. This is some more. It says, wallpaper discovered during restoration of room 101 following the freeze disaster of February 2021. The date of the paper is unknown, but it was found in the innermost wall of the 1858 room. How cool. You know, I've got some wallpaper out of that little,
like
little sharecropper home on our property. I need to show everybody that. That's some more of that same discovered in the passage hall. But yeah, that reminds me of what we found on our property. Yeah, that's cool. Cool. And I love this cabinet right here.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's real pretty. Real, real pretty. That's the front door we came in earlier. What is it, baby?
It's like a sign.
Yeah, a guest book. Yes, we'll have to sign that. Let's see. Today is the 15th, 2022. John and Amy Murray. Murray, as some people say.
Marin.
What does that say? Oh, our city and state. Marion, Louisiana. We got people from, I can't.
Marshall.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Texas. Does that say Wild, Texas?
Looks like it.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Odessa.
Odessa. Like your grandma. Your grandma was Odessa.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the old. Oh my goodness. They've got a little museum in here. Oh, wow. That's people staying at the Excelsior house way back.
I guarantee you.
Oh, wow. How neat. Dallas Morning News. I need my glasses on.
Rutherford B. Hayes. 19th president. See right there?
Oh, he signed it. Yeah. So he stayed here. Yeah. Ulysses S. Grant stayed here. Lots of famous people. Lady Bird Johnson. Do they have the little
Gotta get my eyeballs.
here? I'm coming. I'm gonna come too. She says that sometimes they lock the doors, so they give you a key to the front door too. It's kind of neat. Today we parked down here, not in front of the hotel. It was open when we got here, but it was shady under this huge magnolia. I can't see him, but he's big. And now we're not shady, we're in the dark.
Right.
We should have parked in front of this hotel. But I don't think anybody's gonna bother. Yes, they are. I even filmed one that asked us how we were doing. But yeah, there's a little
Did you see the doorbell from back then?
Look,
that's the actual
oh,
bell.
I did see
And
that.
you just twist the knob out there.
Yeah, you twist it and it rings it. That's cute. Cute. We'll go look at the dining room and then we'll go. I think I already said that. You got a little sitting area and a fireplace. It's really sweet in here. And it has that antique smell. The whole entire hotel smells like an antique piece of furniture. I know some people know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, who are these gentlemen in the jail cell?
Right. I'm glad it wasn't me. Probably some of my ancestors.
You think?
I doubt it.
That's a pretty mirror. And I think this is the dining room. They keep coffee out always, except, you know, it's now nighttime, but all during the day. Oh, yeah. How pretty.
It's pretty.
That chandelier.
Mm-hmm.
The dining area. Oh, I love the floor. And isn't that pretty?
Oh, man.
That's gorgeous floor. So pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Fireplace. Have we seen any people in this hotel? Are we like the only ones?
Look at that chandelier.
That chandelier is out of sight.
Wow.
The parking lot's full, so I know there's people in here.
Yeah.
Maybe they're still out and about.
Maybe so.
You and I like to retire early
Yeah.
and relax, huh?
I love this floor.
I don't know if y'all can tell, but this chandelier is how many feet across, baby? 2.5 to 3?
Ooh, it's
3.
3.5, maybe 4.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely 3.5.
It's as wide as these leaves.
As
These 3
two,
leaves.
as 3 of them.
Easy.
Oh yeah, it certainly is. Wow,
That's 4 feet.
sure is. I love that on this table.
That is pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little twisted rope. It looks like offices back in there. These columns are pretty. You can see out, that's that little breakfast porch that I was showing y'all earlier when we were outside by the fountain. That's a beautiful piece of furniture, isn't it, baby?
Oh, it is.
Oh my goodness, that's so pretty.
That reminds me of our organ.
Yes, yes. That organ that I would love for you to take up to our game room.
Yeah, we could figure out how to cut the house in half and put it up there.
Well, you could figure it out. You would get it up there with a piece of equipment.
Yeah, I could build an apparatus on the hole and set it up there.
It would be really pretty. Maybe we'd put it in the bunkhouse.
Maybe so. That's a single layer. I can get it there.
It just
Call
would look
Josh
more.
in to help you put
It would look more dramatic in the
Let's go up to that second story.
to that second story that we just came up from. Oh, I don't know. I think it's a whole different area. I'm gonna be right back down.
Okay.
Y'all hear these steps creaking? Me too. Oh yeah, this is a whole different area. Cute. I hear John explaining that I'm up here.
Y'all doing all right? Pretty good. You working night shift?
Coffee ready.
Yeah. Here she comes.
Here I come. It's neat in here.
Oh, I love it.
I do too.
Thank y'all.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
She walked in there. She said, "Can I help you, sir?"
Because you were
I
just
said,
standing there.
No, ma'am. I said, "I'm just waiting on my wife."
I heard you say, my wife's
She's
upstairs.
just filming.
She's filming. Now that little part I went up into, it was kind of hot. It was different than here.
I'm gonna turn our air conditioner back down.
Yeah. And y'all circled right back around to our room, to the suite. The Diamond Bessie. I'm gonna have to look that up and read it to everybody. You see, it's very nice here. This is why I wanted this room. It's even got a day bed out here. that you can get on. It's really neat out here. Our hangout spot. Hey guys, I'm sitting out here on this day bed with y'all, and I thought I'd read a little bit about Excelsior House. I'm just interested, and I knew y'all would like me to get on here with y'all and read what I was finding out about it, right? Yeah. Don't look at our messiness. We being messy. We're just hanging out for the weekend for our anniversary. Let's see here. See what I found. It says the Excelsior House Hotel is the oldest hotel in Texas. That's pretty cute. Located in the heart of downtown Texas, the historic hotel has been welcoming travelers since 1858. Famous guests from both the 19th and 20th centuries include Ulysses S. Grant, Oscar Wilde. He was a famous Irish poet, but I think he gained his fame more like in London, but I'm not real sure about that, but he was a poet, yes. Rutherford B. Hayes, another president. Ulysses, I think, was the 18th and Rutherford was the 19th, but y'all don't fail me in history. Lady Bird Johnson has stayed here, and Steven Spielberg, and Lady Bird's even left presents here. In one of the rooms she stayed in, she put, she's got a clock, it was an anniversary present, and she actually put it on the mantle in the hotel room. Isn't that something? I know, I wouldn't trust for it to be in there. And Steven Spielberg stayed here. And then I read about Steven Spielberg staying here. It says, one of the very most famous and popular stories involves famous director Steven Spielberg and the creation of Poltergeist. According to local legends, Spielberg was in the area scouting locations for the 1974 film Sugarland Express. After a long day of work, Spielberg and company checked into the Excelsior Hotel in downtown Jefferson. According to the story, Spielberg experienced several unexplained happenings. He was staying in the Gould Room, G-O-U-L-D, and allegedly tossed his briefcase in a chair only to have it fly right back at him. There are also reports of bumps in the night and flickering lights in the room. Then, according to the story, Spielberg experienced some unexplained happenings. Oh, I already read that part. I was taking pictures of all this. Then the kicker, in the late evening, early morning, a small boy in 1800s clothing woke the director up and asked if he was ready for breakfast. Spielberg, according to the story, immediately gathered up his crew, checked out of the hotel, and got out of town as quickly as possible, and then helped write Poltergeist. So, anyway. Anyway, it's had some pretty cool, we've had presidents and presidents' wives, so I just thought that was neat that they stayed here. Very neat. And I was also going to look up the history of Jefferson. Do y'all want to stay with me? You want to stay with me? Let's see here. I'm using one, y'all are on one phone and I'm on a whole different kind of phone, so it's like, how do I do that here? I'm always having to think. Think. Let's see here. My phone's acting funky. Now, come on, buddy. We need to get with it. We want to find out the history of Jefferson. Because I had thought that it was the capital at one time, but I'm not sure. Let's see. History of Jefferson, Texas. Running slow. It's gonna get there. All right. When you visit Jefferson, Texas, you take a journey back through time to a bustling 19th century river port. It was an era of prosperity and wealth, of petticoats and parasols, of southern grace and romance. Today's Jefferson is reminiscent of its heyday, with antique shops lining the original brick streets, horse-drawn carriage tours, and even a trip on the bayou. Yeah, there is a riverboat tour down there. The rich and diverse history of Jefferson, Texas is told through numerous factual and romantical accounts, including those that describe its dramatic rise to prosperity during the mid-1800s as the state's largest and most significant river port. The period of prosperity has come to be known as the Golden Era. Jefferson erupted into a mid-19th century boomtown with the help of a genteel, graceful society of successful and well-bred families. A host of nefarious, opportunist, and rich assortment of eclectic individuals. Whole lot of big words there, right? While offering a supply point and doorway to settlers and immigrants looking for a new life. She was and remains the queen of the bayou. Jefferson was founded in 1836. It was mentioned as a new settlement named in honor of the third president of the United States. This town appeared on an 1844 map of Bowie County. And I had somebody tell me that it used to be a big river because it was clogged with lots of logs that got dammed up basically and flooded the area, and it was hustling and bustling during that time. And then when they finally got here we go, the changing face of Jefferson. Sadly, in 1873, two events occurred that would forever change the future of Jefferson. First, the Red River Raft was finally removed by the U.S. Corps of Engineers. Let me go back. I skipped, didn't I? The Red River Raft. That must have been when the logs clogged it. I'm trying to find it. Okay, there are two men who were widely credited as co-founders of Jefferson. Allen Urquhart, and I probably pronounced that wrong, was a professional land surveyor and ferry owner who acquired a significant tract of land between Big Cypress and Black Cypress Creek. As a surveyor, he had the foresight to recognize the potential of this land. Where was I? I looked up at y'all, as an ideal place to grow a new town. Its navigable river system, Big Cypress Bayou, could bring boats 8 miles further into land than previous ports allowed, and its location at the bend of the bayou gave it another unique advantage, enough width in the stream to enable steamboats to turn around. Oh wow, how cool. While Allen is recognized as the founder of Jefferson as a commercial center, it was a real estate developer, Daniel Alley, who made his mark on the residential area of the town. Alley invested in a tract of land put just outside the business district that he felt was perfect for developing a genteel residential neighborhood. Alley established a real estate office in Jefferson and began plotting out the neighborhood he envisioned. Later dubbed the Alley Addition, his residential streets ran along the compass points north, south, east, and west, in stark contrast to Urquhart's streets that angled toward the wharf. A quick glance at the current map of Jefferson shows that the distinct angles of the street layouts remain the same today as those established by its co-founders. First steamboat to land in Jefferson was Llama, owned by William Perry. Civil War soldiers fought for secession. In 1860, Jefferson's population had expanded to nearly 4,000. After Abraham Lincoln was elected president, the long ongoing rift between North and South came to a culmination. The voting citizens of Marion County unanimously opted for the secession of Texas from the Union. The men of Jefferson volunteered for military service and great. And again, sadly, in 1873, two events occurred that would forever change the future of Jefferson. First, the Red River Raft was finally removed by the U.S. Corps of Engineers due to it being arbitrarily deemed a navigational hazard. The raft was actually a huge natural log jam that had clogged the river for centuries, flooding the bayous and raising the water level to a height that made it passable to Jefferson. With the raft's removal, the main course of the Red River was opened, draining the bayous and lakes and making the trip to Jefferson difficult and undependable. The second and decidedly more drastically impactful incident was the completion of the Texas and Pacific Railway running from Texarkana to Marshall, bypassing Jefferson altogether. Although another railroad line was extended to Jefferson the following year, the rise of other important rail cities like Marshall and Dallas brought an end to Jefferson's golden era. By 1885, the population had fallen to 3,500 inhabitants, with many of its businesses moving to Marshall, Dallas, or Shreveport, Louisiana. And I think when we drove through here earlier today, the population is a good bit less than that. I want to say it was 1,800 some odd people, I think. Y'all don't hold me to that. But anyway, oh, and this is the room that we're staying in. It's the Diamond Bessie room, named after her. During the late 1870s, Jefferson was given a serendipitous distraction from its trying economic troubles by the sensational murder trial of Diamond Bessie Moore. Moore, her real name was Annie Stone, who was reputed to have been a famous prostitute, lady of the evening, as John said. Reputed, I don't know. Arrived in Jefferson by steamboat in January 1877 with her gregarious and flamboyant partner, Abraham Rothschild. Soon after their landing, the attractive petite woman who wore lavish dresses and a surprising array of diamond jewelry adornment came to be nicknamed Diamond Bessie. I bet there's a story there with her diamonds, huh? Bessie and Abe were last seen walking together across the footbridge over Big Cypress Bayou, bound for an afternoon picnic, but shortly thereafter, Abe was seen returning alone. A few days later, Bessie's body was discovered tragically murdered in the woods along the nearby bayou, with all her jewelry missing. Abe Rothschild was ceremoniously charged with the crime, and his trial became one of the most notorious and widely followed court battles of that time period. Rothschild was eventually, although suspiciously, found not guilty. This sensational trial is reenacted each year in May in conjunction with the town's annual pilgrimage. Diamond Bessie Moore rests in Jefferson's Oakwood Cemetery. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, y'all know I'm always wanting to read about places and things and foods and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's where we are this weekend. And we're just relaxing, and we ate at that great new restaurant they opened, I think she said last September, 1852. And it was very, very, very good. And they serve brunch on Sundays, and they serve breakfast, I think she said, the other days. But anyway, it was really good. And we're going to check out another place tomorrow evening. We walked by it this evening, and we talked to some couples coming out of there. It's lots of couples all over the place, young and old and middle-aged. And it's a very, very sweet place to come to if you just want to relax and not see a whole lot of people, or at least this weekend anyway. So we're enjoying it. So John Murray has come up missing. He was watching TV, and now he's come up missing. So anyway, guys, I'm fixing to go get me a shower and probably retire to our bedroom, but I just wanted to hop on here and read about Jefferson with y'all. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Sweet dreams.